Many Jamaicans' primary reason for leaving their country is for work and earning money, so economic migration. However, in spite of working opportunities and earning foreign currencies, many Jamaicans are still broke in foreign lands. What could be the cause of this conundrum? Let's dive into the conversation.
The Jam Fam family. Jam Fam, come hang with me, yeah.
Hello, Wagwan, big up yourself. Whether you're there yard or you're there abroad, welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. Now on this episode, we are going to explore some of the factors as to what could lead to Jamaicans in foreign country and still having financial challenges and difficulties. So we're going to look at some of the reasons as to why it is that Jamaicans in foreign countries are still going broke. Now, one of the factors to consider is financial literacy or illiteracy. So the work, but no money is a cycle that often happens, and people are doing bank shifts, they're doing overtime, they're working hard, and sometimes still find themselves being poor. They're partying, they're splurging on holidays, and they're using credit, paying high fees for a lifestyle that they want but clearly can't really afford. So these are some of the factors. They don't quite know how to utilize their money, how to plan it out properly, and how to use it efficiently and effectively so that they will continue to have money and not have to live in debt. So financial illiteracy is a plague to many Jamaicans, whether on the island or abroad. And whilst we blame Jamaicans many times for not managing their money properly and not doing well for themselves with the money that they're earning, we cannot avoid the second point, which is the demand on their income. So many Jamaicans are having to pay taxes, high levels of tax. They're having to pay steep rent. They're having to pay bills. Cost of living is high, and they have high and regular immigration related fees that they're having to pay, and enough money is just not left for savings or for investment, and therefore living rough life in foreign oftentimes is a lot of their outcomes. And the demand on their monies doesn't just end there. It's also those of them who are having to provide for families in their countries, and they cannot explain to them their predicament. They're just not going to comprehend it. They're going to probably think that they just want to be mean and stingy, or them they are foreigner suffer, other people now suffer, so how them a suffer. They're not going to comprehend the demands on people. So therefore that too is one of the challenge that people will inevitably face when they're having to have high demands on their income. The next point we want to look at is the fact that some of them are living to progress other people, which I've spoken of briefly in the point above, but I'm just going to talk about that a little bit more here. So families are asking for help, and sometimes people find it difficult to say no, and they have friends who are also asking for help, and they keep pleasing and impressing other people whilst having nothing for themselves. Building houses, buying vehicle, and sending others to school and training rather than doing such things for themselves to develop themselves and improve their own lifestyle. But people don't mind the fact that you are putting yourself out so that other people can get the benefit of anything aside from your future, as long as you're sponsoring their present and their future. And this is something that people who are Jamaicans living abroad need to really take stock of. I had to relocate, so the next point I wanted to have a conversation about is living to impress others. So some people want to spin their monies between accounts, and others think so that others can think that they are rich and that money come out of the wall, and all they're doing is just living their lives trying to impress other people. And you just have to think, at what point are you going to realize that actually nobody really cares? Nobody really cares, because everybody is out here trying to live and trying to survive and make the most of their resources that they have. And the final point is that many are compensating for the lack that's in their past. Some people spend their life compensating for their past and the lack that exists there, and so they spend their years compensating and trying to afford things on hire purchase, store cards, credit cards. But the reality of it is they also do the buy now, pay later and all other payment plans, always burying themselves further into a mountain of debt. And in Jamaica, If you cannot currently afford it, you are encouraged to go look away to pay for it and then come back to see if you can acquire it, or figure out how you can do it in stages as you are able to afford it. And this helps you to remain debt free, as a credit lifestyle is not one that one wants to exist in. And so it's not a prevalent thing on the island, but in more industrialized nation, they deliberately seek out a way of causing you to live on credit. So they create opportunities to make people slave in every way fathomable to debt and to all other sorts of slavery lifestyle, because they need to live certain lifestyle. And so it's mindful that we are aware of some of these factors so we can address our systems. Please tell us some of the reasons that you think people who are from Jamaica living in the diaspora or in foreign countries are able to end up in poor situations, even though they are working consistently and hard and still not able to make their milestones that they've set out to achieve. So, Eliona, how do you compare school dinners in the UK to school dinners in Jamaica? First of all, which one you prefer, and then you can tell me the deets.
So, first of all, based on what I've had buying school lunch in Jamaica and buying school lunch in England, I would prefer England, just because of the variety of options that I'm given and different decisions each day, instead of just having the same thing. Although there are similar options, but there are newer options each day. And in Jamaica, normally it's the same thing except like one day of the week. I know, for example, in my school, Wednesdays is water day. They don't sell any juice at all whatsoever, it's just water. And on Thursdays, I know that they sell chicken and chips, I think. Yeah.
But other than that, it's just the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think you highlighted the health issue, which you're going to elaborate on a little bit more later.
With the food, I like that at least my school has resources that when I bring my food to school, there's
options to warm it up.
Yeah. Like you could go to a staff room if like the line is long, and maybe there might be a teacher who might let you heat it up. Although that's very rare. The teachers to genuinely like love you to the point that they would literally do anything for you, which is very rare. And then, but that's also a problem because especially in my lunch group, I think it's year 9 and all the way up to 6th form who share lunch, and only year 7 and year 8 share. So
it's a high demand
to do the things
on the things. Okay.
And especially with lunchtime when they're buying things, most people tend to not even buy lunch at school and just wait till school is over to get their lunch, because by the time they get let out of their classes, the line is probably all the way around the school and back. Especially on days with specific meals that people are definitely going to want to get. But in the UK, normally it's only 2-year groups per lunch slot.
From your school experience.
Yeah, per lunch slot. So, for example, when I was in year 7, it was the year 7s and the year 8s, and then so on. So the demand of people getting through to not be late to their class wasn't that much. So the most time you'd probably be waiting in line is like probably 5 minutes. But here, I've been late multiple times to class because of the fact that I'm having to wait in the line, which is why I rarely buy lunch at school, and I just bring food. And then I feel like other people have also gained that mindset, and now the line to meet up is even longer, and then the line to buy food is shorter.
Okay.
So, in terms of school food, in terms of getting the food, I would choose England, and this might be debatable, but in terms of food on a whole, I would still choose England, because in England there's a variety of different foods and cultures, which in Jamaica you're just finding Jamaican food, and there's rarely any difference.
Okay.
Especially the school I go to. Oh, and the lower group of students tend to finish most of the food that we want. So by the time we get down there, there's no food because of whatever reason. Maybe they didn't get enough because they weren't expecting people to want so much, or that maybe the delivery couldn't come on time, or whatever the problem was. We can't get our food, so we just have to wait and just satisfy with the snacks or just the drinks.
Okay.
So yeah, but like some they have different days for different things. But usually the thing that you're always going to get every day is probably patty, snacks, drink. It just gets boring. But in England out there's like a lunch timetable. For example, one day, a special Thursday might have pizza, and then Friday might have a special donut there that you can get.
Okay.
And then there's different types. I remember one of the days, especially on Culture Day, there's lots of different options in the canteen. Like there was samosas, there's some spring rolls. I'm pretty sure I even saw jollof there as well. And that's England. You're more likely to think about baked beans on toast or some sausage and egg English breakfast with coffee or something like that. But there's lots of different varieties there, which is something I like, and I'm rarely going to find the food like that here.
Okay, so you is it okay for me to assume then that you're saying that there are lots of options for you there when it comes on to school dinners?
In terms of options, is also, I would say, healthier options than here.
Okay.
Because especially at my school, they don't sell fruit and they don't sell vegetable with their cooked food. Which maybe that's just what their budget is, that they'd rather ensure that they have a full stomach than thinking about the fact that kids should have vegetable with their food. But I do think that they should be having balanced cooked food. Even if the kids aren't going to eat it, I think you should still put it in there. Because I do know that sometimes they put things like cabbage, kale, maybe some mixed vegetable, just some chop up. All of you just chop up some scallion and dash it in there.
Okay.
At least it's still vegetable. I do know that sometimes people do pick it out, but at least they put it in there sometimes. In England, normally, for example, they have sandwiches and they have wraps and they have those vegetables inside and they sell fruit pots and stuff. But here, sometimes they sell fruit at like break time, but it's normally in contribution to clubs. So and it's not every day, so you can't enjoy the fruit that you want every single day. It's just like one day. So, on a whole, if I'm telling up all of the scores at school on a whole, I would choose England.
Okay.
Just for that.
Okay. I've been talking about banana flour and wanting to eat it, and I said to my neighbor, because he has banana trees, about getting it to try and ask him if he've ever had it because he's a vegetarian. Well, he hasn't eaten it before, but I've seen that a lot of people, whether in Southeast Asia, in China, you have people in East Africa, a lot of people eat it. And so I thought, well, why not? And then I did some research on it. Turns out it's classified as a superfood. So some of the benefits, so it helps with diabetes management, it helps with digestive health, it helps with heart health, it helps with anemia because it's high in iron, it helps with weight management because it's low in calories and it's high in fiber, and it helps with mental well-being because of the magnesium that it contains, improves the mood and help to reduce anxiety, and it helps with immune support because it's rich in antioxidants, and so it helps in lots of different ways. There are lots of different things that it does. It has a lot of vitamins and minerals, potassium, magnesium, vitamin A, C, E, and it is, as mentioned, rich in iron. It's high in fiber, and it is a super thing to help with reducing cholesterol and things like those. So I thought, well, why don't we eat it since we have so much of it on the island? And so I decided I wanted to try it. And guess what? My neighbor called me the other morning, and when I looked out, that's what he brought. So he brought me one. And so this is it. And of course, you can eat this part of it here, the flour. And so I'm going to peel it off and prepare it. I'm going to take back. So I left it for these to open a bit because when he brought it, they weren't. So you see these little black bits in there? I'm going to remove those. These ones here that you see. I'm going to remove those. And then once I remove these from it, then this part I'm going to use it and cook it as I'm going to do a little batter with this bit and then fry that bit and cook. And then the first step I'm going to take is to pull those out. Just take these off, keep peeling it back like you see me doing here, and then just keep peeling off these and expose these, take them out, and then I'll show you how we get the rest of it. So I'm just going to show you using one how I do the removal. So you get the stamen. Once you pull it forwards like that, you see this bit bends as well. So I'm going to take both of those out. So I pull that and that off, break it off. That I'm going to bin, and that's the bit I use. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do here. And remember, this is the bit that I'm going to fry. Have you ever tried it? People in the other parts of the Caribbean, tell us in the comment section, have you had this flour before? And if so, how do you do it? How do you eat it? Let us know in the comment section below. So that's how I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to do that with these. Just keep pulling them off and cleaning them in that way. Then I'm going to just put them in with pour some boiling water over it to blanch it a little bit. And then I'm going to make the batter to fry them. With these, I'm just going to keep, once I peel these off, I'll just keep going like that and peel these bits off. So those are the bits I need. So I'm just going to keep going like that, peeling this off and leaving the red bits. So I've just poured some salt over it and some lemon juice. I've picked them clean. And now I'm just going to add some hot water boiling water onto it. And I'm going to cover that and blanch it whilst that's happening. So the whole point of the other things to put on it is just to cut back on the bitterness and to give it a little bit of added flavor when we put the salt in. So once that's there and it's just going to sit and blanch for a while, I've just mixed it up I've seasoned it. So just season your batter how you would normally season your batter, like the flour you use for chicken. And I just did that, and now I mix it. I think I've got enough flour. I don't want it too dry and I don't want it too wet, so that's fine for me. I'm just going to spoon small clumps of it because I don't want it too big so that the inside don't soak. So I'm just going to take small clumps of it and drop it in the hot oil so that it fries, because I want it crispy. And that's what they look like. Look. So that's one. Yep. And those should be nice and onion bhaji when we get them. So would you try it? Tell us in the comments below. That's it. I'll definitely make it again. There are some people who stir fry it, and the Indians curry it. So I'm going to try different ways of making it, but it's good. I have finished paying all the bills that I needed to pay for today, all the ones that didn't have enough credit left on them. So I've managed to do that, and so I can breathe a little bit of a relief that I've managed to catch those and got those sorted and didn't have to do them online, because I prefer to just come and do them in person. I have a few more stops to make and I'm going to go and do those now, but I thought I'd come and visit my little rest spot that I normally come at when I come to do my bill payments. I had missed it, so I thought I'd come back and just stop there for a little while and share it with you guys as well. But I just noticed something and I'm going to share it with you as I remind you of where my spot is. So my little chill spot is here, and those were some of the limbs from one of the storm or tropical storm before, where they've cut down, and we had said I'd said if they had, you know, one of those shredders that just shreds it, and then they could cover the ground with it instead, but it will stay there and decompose. But those philodendrons are deciding to take it over and grow on it as well, as nature have its way. This is my little spot. Yep, it's always so lovely to just come and chill here. It's a very nice little spot that I like to come to. But I noticed this thing, if you can see it right up there in the crux of the tree, right up there in the crux. So it's right between those two branches. Can you see that? There is actually a palm tree growing there. However the seed got in there is beyond me, but I think probably a bird or something, but it is literally growing up there. Tell you, nature is one of those things. One of our subscribers like to see this as well. I'm waiting to see if it's going to bloom and bear. I'll monitor it so I can show it to her as well. I thought that was a bloom from it, but it isn't. So this is my little spot. And I like to stop here and just get my little rest in and enjoy the cool breeze and the nature that is here. And it's always so nice and peaceful and quiet. Very rarely I see other people here sitting and relaxing, and so it just feels like a little personal garden spot, you know, when I'm out and sorting out my bills. So I thought I'd come and just relax here for a little while before I go and take on the other things that I have to do, because the sun is nice and warm, and I like the warm vibrance and the brightness that it shows. But at the same time, if you're in a heat for too long, it's hot. You know, you build up a heat, and it's coming up now to the time of day where typically Jamaicans would go indoors and just keep themselves cool. But I still have to go and sort out some other stuff so that I can have my next week to just be calm and relaxing and back on track with most of the things that I need to get done, so I can just tick off one thing as I go along and just smooth into the winter term. So it's all good. I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and then go off, go do some more something. So do you have one of those little spots that you like to just go and sit back and chill and relax and enjoy? Tell us in the comment section below. I would like to hear from you.
The Jam Fam family, where I living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. The Jam Fam family, where I living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, come hang with me.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on this another episode of Life with the Jam Fam. We look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Bye for now and walk good.